I connected Earth calendar systems to Star Wars times. 0 ABY is 1807 AD, meaning the time connected. The first Death Star was destroyed in 1807 AD, with 1 Star Wars year equal to 1 Earth year. I got this information from the Into the Great Unknown Star Wars non-canon comic. The comic shows Han Solo and Chewbacca being chased by remnants of the Empire. They jump into hyperspace and end up in our solar system, crash landing into the North Americas. Later, they get hunted by a native tribe and Han Solo dies. 126 years later, Indiana Jones discovers the Millennium Falcon and Han Solo's skeleton. According to William Hayden Blackman, the story takes place 7 to 8 years after Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, meaning Indiana arrived in 1942 to 43 and Han crashed in 1816 to 17. The story also mentions Han Solo's children, with the first being born 9 ABY. Based on what Blackman said and Han's mentioning of his kids, we can place 9 ABY as 1816 at the earliest possible date, making 1807 ABY. The Galactic Standard Calendar is a standardized dating system used in many planets in Star Wars. The calendar follows a Coruscant year with 365 days. It is broken up into 10 identical months and 3 holiday weeks, being in order New Year's Fete at the start of the year, Festival of Life between the 6th and 7th month, and Festival of Stars between the 9th and 10th month. Each month there are 7 weeks, 5 days per week, being named in order Prima Day, Syntax Day, Tongs Day, Sahel Day, and Bendu Day. The GSC epochs have changed many times. 3653 BBY, the Treaty of Coruscant was set with years before being BTC, before the Treaty of Coruscant, and years after being ATC, after the Treaty of Coruscant. 1000 BBY, the Rougean Reformation was set, with years before being BRR, before the Rougean Reformation, and years after being ARR, after the Rougean Reformation. 35 BBY, the Great Resynchronization was set, with years before being BRS, before the resynchronization, and years after being GRS, the Great Resynchronization. 19 BBY, the Imperial Calendar was set, with years before being BFE, before the formation of the Empire, and years after being AFE, after the formation of the Empire. 25 ABY, the New Republic's calendar was set, with years before the events of Battle of Yavin being BBY, before Battle of Yavin, and after being ABY, after the Battle of Yavin. There are 2 ways to format these dates. First, I've seen a lot, is year, month, day. The second option is day, month, year. The Coruscant Reckoning Calendar is a dating system newly seen in Star Wars Andor. We can assume it follows the same year cycle as the Galactic Standard Calendar. The epoch for the calendar is the Year of the Hosnian, with 0 ABY as 7977 CRC. The way to format dates with this system goes first the year, a period, second the thousandth of a year, a period, and third 1/10 of a thousandth of a year. To calculate this, you would first take the day of the year minus 1, second, divide the number by 0.365, third, round to the nearest hundredths place, and lastly, add the year at the beginning. For example, June 1st is the 152nd day of the year, minus 1 is 151, so divide it by 0.365, round to the hundredths place, and you get 413.70. Then add it to the beginning, you add the year to the beginning of it, and then it's 8200.413.70. The Lothal calendar is a calendar to the planet Lothal with little information about it in Star Wars. All we know about it is that the epoch is the Year of the Lothal, and 0 ABY is 3277 LY. The calendar local to Naboo is the year of Quilan in Star Wars. We sadly don't have enough information about this calendar yet. The epic is the year of Quilan, named after Quilan, the first human to discover Naboo and establish a settlement. The 0th year of Quilan is the year Naboo joined the Republic. This calendar follows Galactic Standard Calendar years. We only know one month by name, and it's called Grism. The Velmorian calendar is used on the planet Velmor in Star Wars Legends, and sadly we have little information about this dating system. The epic is the year of the Emerald, with 0 ABY as the 333rd year of the Emerald. The system has 297 days in a year, with 26 hours in a day. The Tapani calendar is used in the Tapani system in Star Wars Legends. This calendar year is made to conform to the Galactic Standard Calendar while keeping traditional names of months, weeks, and days. There are 365 days in a year with 10 months and 3 holiday weeks. Going in order: Elona, Kelona, Selona, Expansion Week, Telona, Nelona, Helona, Shelova Week, Melona, Yelona, Relona, Wellona, and Winter Fete Week. Each month has 7 weeks, 5 days per week, going in order Atunda, Katunda, Satunda, Datunda, and Natunda. The epic of this dating system is based off of the settlement of Tapani, making 0 ABY the local year 12,720. While people in the Tapani system use this calendar for outside affairs, during the reign of the Empire they used the Imperial calendar. The Galactic Basic Standard is the most common language in Star Wars. The main alphabet is Aurebesh, but there are a lot more other fonts for Naboo, Batuu Droid Depot, and the Trade Federation. In Aurebesh there are characters A to Z as well as CH, EA, EO, KH, NG, OO, SH, and TH. Mandoa is the language of the Mandalorians in Star Wars. There is one common alphabet, while in Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, some characters appear differently, causing people to think there are 2 alphabets. The Old Tongue, also known as Sith language, also known as Urkitat, is the old language of the Sith and Jedi, shown in many temples in Star Wars. There are 2 different forms of this writing, a hieroglyphic form and a script form. While many languages in Star Wars format subject, verb, object, the Old Tongue is formatted verb, subject, object. To bring emphasis to the subject or object, however, you can have the subject or object brought to the beginning of the sentence. You can also do that for prepositional phrases. Futhorc is the native language of Naboo in Star Wars. When the Republic became a presence on Naboo, they taught Aurebesh writing format. There's only one alphabet to Futhorc, but there's a Futhark, a more geometric alphabet. The Outer Rim Basic is a common language used in the Outer Rim in Star Wars. There is one alphabet for Outer Rim Basic, but there is Huttese, which I can believe is written in both Outer Rim Basic and its own alphabet. Huttese, unlike other alphabets in Star Wars, is written with numbering base 8 system rather than base 10. For reference, base 8 counts 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, and base 10 would count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This one non-canon language in Star Wars is created from the language shown in LucasArts' X-Wing, TIE Fighter, and Dark Forces. This language is named Dark Katarn in inspiration from the games. This is one alphabet that is mainly used in Imperial facilities. The Ancient Jedi texts show different languages in Star Wars. The Ancient Jedi texts are full of 3 different alphabets: Protobesh, Aurebesh, and one alphabet unofficially named Kitisakoulian. Kitisakoulian is notably from Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, and Protobesh is from Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, from Rogue One and from Andor. Protovesh uses cartouche, a column-like shape around words, to express emphasis on words or phrases. Here are all the other calendar systems I learned while doing my first part of my Star Wars project. Senator Wren's social calendar, an unidentified calendar of disambiguation, and Declaration of Montreal Domation. While these calendars I have no information on, there are some that I do have a little information on. The Raspar System calendar, all we know is there are 9 months in a year, and Dear Lynn's calendar, all we know is there's 1 month called 5th month. There is also a fan-made Naboo calendar because all that is canon is 1 month. In this calendar, there are 288 days in a year with 26 hours in a day. There are 36 days per month with 8 months that go in order: Alt, Grism, Kalanth, Dej, Ormasa, Suyan, Ret, and Mushta. Here are other languages, alphabet, and dialects that I learned while doing my Star Wars project: Bosi, Aqualish, Diplo dialect, Dishabesh, Droidobesh, Gunganese, Geonosian, Twi'leki, Tuscan, Domabesh, Protobesh Squirrel, Protobesh Korimaic, an unidentified Gungan dialect, Skyri dialect. And while those don't have any explicit information, here's some that we do have information on. High Galactic, which is entirely English, an explanation for English in old Star Wars movies, and is the way Ezra Bridger wrote his journal. Astromech Droid translations, which is Weirs, Clicks, and Beeps, which sometimes have apps in real life to translate English to Astromech speak. Droid Speak or Binary, which is beeps and whistles, the language of R2-D2, a utilitarian mode of communication with precise logic patterns, is decipherable with practice. Ewokese, which is the tribe language of the Ewoks. It is a melodic language with peppery charms of the Ewoks' lifestyle. A primitive dialect shown with Ewok hieroglyphics, Shriwook, which is the roars of the Wookiees, expressive in conveying deep meaning, and requires a keen ear and empathy to interpret the emotions to accurately translate the language. Ubiz, which is a repetitive and limited, seemingly simplistic language. And finally, Jawaize, which is a high-pitched, squeaky, vocalized language like the real-life Zulu language. Here are fonts that I downloaded but never used for my Star Wars project. Fonts from Allo Studio is Hydebeast. Fonts from Auric Fonts is Orbesh Bloops AF, Orbesh Racer AF, Mando AF Classic, Pal Trigonographic AF, S-Foil, Skyluke, and Skyhook. From Boba Fonts, it's Star Jedi Outline, Star Jedi Logo, Star Jedi Special Edition, Auric Besh, Boombazoid, Tywing, Shadow from Zior, and Auric Besh Hand. Now from Eric Stormtrooper, there's Inglabesh, Galactic Basic, Mandalorian, Metal Rebel, Sith Prophecy. From Iconian Fonts, it is Imperial Code. From Opipic, it is Anakin Mono. From Pixel Saga, it's Orbesh and Orbesh Cantina. And finally, from Stormtrooper on Weekends, it's Orbesh Droid and Orbesh English. These are fonts that I used, that I downloaded for my Star Wars project. Orbesh AF. This font includes both Canon and Legends Orbesh. Droidobesh Depot. This is the font used in Mubo's Droid Depot on Batuu. Kitisakulian AF is a font from the Sacred Jedi Temples from Episode 8 of Star Wars. Mando AF is the font of the Mandalorian script based off of the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian. Naboo AF Orbesh is the font that is used in Naboo during the movies. Outer Rim AF is the font of the planets of the Outer Rim. Protobesh AF is the font from the sacred texts from Episode 9 of Star Wars. Sith AF is the first font of the Sith language. TF Gunray is the font of the Trade Federation from Episode 1 of Star Wars. Dark Katarn is the font from LucasArts X-Wing, TIE Fighter, and Dark Forces. That's non-canon anymore. New Futhork is the font of the inhabitants of Naboo. Here are planets I dealt with while doing my Star Wars project. For ones that speak Mandoa, it was mostly the Mandalore system. For planets that speak Urkitat, it was Zoist, Korriban, and any planet of the Sith Order. Speaking Common Sith was Zoist, Korriban, and Sith Order. For planets that spoke Futhork, it was Naboo. For planets that spoke Binary, it was Orbesh Subtitles. For planets that spoke Dark Katarn, it was Imperial Facilities. For planets that spoke Outer Rim Basic, it was Outer Rim and also Nal Hutta. For planets that had Ancient Jedi text, it was Ach-2 and Jedha. For planets that had Galactic Basic Standard, it was Pelagon, Velmor, Imperial Facilities, Raxus and Kundus, Lothal, Coruscant, Astromech Subtitles, Trade Federation, Cantinas, Empire Technologies, Naboo, and Pod Racing Planets.